allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We have public and non-public meeting minutes. You get a chance to review them.
I'll move to approve.
Second. She said she moved to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Yeah, my apologies.
Are we members of the cemetery trustees here?
Some of us.
So you, okay. What's that?
I think Nancy is the only one that's not here.
Okay,
Scott's here and me and Lynn and Bill.
okay.
But Nancy's doing all the talking, so.
Oh,
Yeah.
all
Is
right.
she out practicing?
What?
Is she out practicing?
I don't know.
All right, and we'll skip that for now. And Chief Olson, you want to come up and give us an update of?
Oh, yeah. Yes. All right, how's everybody doing? Good, all right. So a couple of things. I asked to meet with the select board and to whomever was here, just to discuss updates on the fire department and what direction fire rescue department, what direction we're going at. So if you don't know me, I'm Christopher Olson, I'm your fire chief at this moment. So, and I'll be retiring soon. So we have many things to talk about. First, I probably and foremost is the July 31st, to let everybody know that I'm retiring on July 31st and that I'll be moving along to North Carolina. So we're in a process right now for hiring a new chief. We have 16 applications, and we narrowed it down to 7 right now, and we're going to interview July 14th and the 15th for the 6 applications that 6 to 7 that we're looking at right now. They look great. You know, they all made we set up a matrix, it all looked super. We actually put a lot in the matrix to see where the chiefs would end up, and it looked really good. So we're pretty excited. So very professional people, folks that we're looking at. So hopefully they'll come this way. I asked 3 questions already. One question to them was, are you still interested in the position? That was a yes by those 6 of 7. Are you still interested to move in the area of Canaan? They said yes. And are you interested in 90,000 plus packages and stuff like that? They said yes. So we have at least 6 out of the 7 that said yes. We're working on that last one. We'll figure out where we go with that. So we may only have 6 to interview at that time. The process is the town administrator. We're going to look at 4 different chiefs on the board, as well as the administrator, as well as one of our select board members. And the police chief as well. So it looks like it's going to be a good board. There'll be a matrix filled out. In that matrix, they'll have, that's the one they fill.
Gonna mute them.
All right. Yeah. So there's a matrix that we'll fill out. And in that matrix, it'll indicate many different things that we need to see and look at as we go along interviewing. Once we do that, then I'm hoping we have an interview. I'm hoping we have them come here and do a face-to-face. And then after that, we should be ready to say yes or no to that person. Hopefully they'll say yes to us, you know, and that'll be great. So that is the chief's process, the fire chief's hiring process. It's really a fair and good process. We looked at several different things on the matrix that our chiefs would need. So we're pretty excited to see that a lot of them do have the qualifications to be a fire chief. Yeah. So that's good. Other than that, that's it on that process. Is there any questions? Any questions? Can I entertain any questions through the board?
Sure.
Any questions at all on that process? Okay. So and we'll communicate back and forth. The town administrator will definitely communicate with everybody. The select board, as usual, they'll communicate too if there's any hiccups or any issues or anything like that. So that was great. And I will be here on the 23rd. Is that our next meeting? Our next meeting? Yeah, so that we'll have it honed down a little bit more on the 23rd, so they'll have a definitive, hopefully definitive person to say yes to the position. So we'll see. We'll see. We're hoping.
Is Canaan Fire Department turning over to full-time or still reserved to volunteer?
Yeah, it's a great question. Yeah, we have quite a bit of personnel here that's per diem. We have call firefighters as well, and we have most of them EMS per diem. So we have a total, I think it was 43 people we have in working for us. And in those 43, we have 34 EMS personnel. So as you can see, EMS is really the, that's where we have a lot of people working and stuff. So no, to answer your question, no. If you ask me as a fire chief, would I like full-time? Absolutely. It's so much easier to manage. It's certainly, who you have coming in. Right now, it's a scheduling nightmare for us to get those 34 EMS personnel, because we have 2 on 24/7. So I don't know if the town knows that, the townspeople, but we always have someone here 24/7, which may be a conversation that we need to have down the road too about bunk rooms and all that stuff, which are not appropriate. So we need to work on that. Yeah, so there's a lot of infrastructure that we need to do here, and that's okay. It's good work. It's good work. We have a lot to build out if we ever going to go full time. So in retrospect, you do have full-time people, except they're per diem. We have 4, there's 3 right now, but there will be 4 full-time people tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll have an interview for an AEMT, which is an advanced EMT, and the 2 chiefs and Monica's going to be on that board, hiring board, and we're going to have someone hopefully say yes. We have 4 applications that are going to be in the process tomorrow, the hiring process. So that will be all we have for full-time people, and the rest are per diem, and call firefighters as well. Our call department is a call base, basically. I'm the only full-time fire department member. Other than that, we have call firefighters. They do our EMS and call do a great job. Great job. That's how we can. We absolutely love the job that we do. It shows, and the people are amazing. So they're amazing. You call, the call comes out, we go. It's the way it is. Don't matter what it is, so it doesn't matter what it is. Good question. Any other questions? Any other questions about the fire department or anything I can answer? I could talk all day. This is no problem. Yeah. If you wanted to go into any other stuff, like, the personnel and bunk rooms and all that stuff.
Probably not.
Okay. Okay. All right. And so that's it. That's all I have. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Has Nancy shown up?
Yes.
Okay.
She just did.
We'll switch back to the cemetery trustee update then. So.
Hi, everyone. And yes, I'll turn around and do this politely. I am Nancy Burkham. I'm one of the cemetery trustees. A couple of my fellow folks are here today. Well, it's been about a year since we got appointed. We thought we'd come and talk to you about what we're doing, but we also have a request from the select board. And so my question is, do you have a preference which thing I do first?
Talk about what you've accomplished in the first year of having a board back.
Okay, I can do that. Some of it because it was in our annual report to the town. We have been focused on, I think I would call it, broadly speaking, procedural stuff. So learning our job, frankly, has been one of them. I'll be quite honest, none of us have done this before. I beg your pardon, Ellie had done it before, but the rest of us had not. So some of that was about learning what we do. We have been looking at what needs to be updated in the town. Some of the things that were in place are almost 30 years old. Some of them might be older, and we just actually don't know exactly how old. We've been trying to look at what we have for documentation of the cemeteries and the way cemeteries are laid out, who's in there. That's very much an ongoing process. We are not likely to resolve that one this year, unfortunately. They're not contradictory, so I'll stay with that statement. We took as one of our very first things, though, one of the specific charges from the select board, which was to look at the fee structure for getting buried in the town. We did modify that we did in February. It became effective the 1st of May. That's going to get us to the request for you folks. Since then, we have been looking at writing down what the procedures, what the processes are that have to do with what happens both when somebody says, hey, we'd like to buy a lot to bury somebody in your town. And what then happens when somebody calls up and says, hey, we need to bury somebody in that lot we have in your town. So we've recently completed that documentation, so that's available to whomever needs it. We undertook a survey of all the cemeteries, 10 of them, 12 of them.
I think we removed 2 because they're in Dorchester.
I think we did 10 cemeteries anyway. Went out and actually looked at all of them, did this massive spreadsheet of the sorts of things that were happening there, where there were trees that needed to be removed, big issue. Where there were stones that were falling over or had fallen, big issue. Where there was erosion, which is a thing we do hope to tackle at one cemetery this fall. Where there were just things that needed to be tightened up, tidied up. Should anyone want to see that, by the way, that spreadsheet is in a binder in the town offices. So it is out there for the public if they want to take a look. That took us most of the fall actually to get around and look at everything. And from there, we made some plans, which in truth, we may have been a little bit more optimistic about what we could actually accomplish than what we will accomplish for the first year. We will get there, but it may take us a little longer than we hoped. I think that's the way of anybody coming into a job new is you have grand plans. They may or may not work. But in trying to deal with some of what we found at those cemeteries, we have had, with help from Jack, whose last name I cannot pronounce correctly, my apologies. Wozmak, thank you. We have a request for proposal for tree removal and tree trimming. We're hoping that that will go out in the next 7 to 10 days. We're looking at then get some responses back by mid-August. Obviously, we'll come back to the select board when we think we've come up with someone to do it, since you all have to sign the contracts and whatnot. And then the plan will be that work on 4 cemeteries and 4 cemeteries only would be done this fall / early winter. We're focusing on Birch Corner because it's small, easily accessible, and doesn't need that much. That's out on Jerusalem Road. Wells Cemetery, Canaan Street Cemetery, and one little tiny bit of trimming at the Wells Annex that will take probably all of about 35 minutes for the guys to do it. So that's just kind of getting thrown in there with the rest of it. We did secure budget from the budget committee for that. So if any of you guys are there, thank you. We're able to say that at least a percentage of that money will be repaid out of cemetery funds held for the cemeteries by the trustees of trust funds. So, but that was also part of all of we talked about when we did the budget thing last year.
Yeah.
So we did want you to know that there was this RFP about to be floated out there that is going to come back to you folks at hopefully within a month. We're going to see what happens, but that's the hope. I'm going to turn to the chair for a second and see if she thinks I'm missing anything significant in that overview.
I think so.
Okay, good enough. In that case, bringing us to the request. In going through the various bits and pieces and poking in the various parts of the websites and whatnot, I found the Canaan Cemetery ordinances. At least as far as I can tell, last updated 1997. And it included a list of cemetery fees. And since that list is now out of date, we would like to have the cemetery ordinance updated so that the new fees, or the corrected new fees, are now part of the cemetery ordinances.
Great,
That's it.
okay, that's easy. Are you gonna rewrite them, or are you gonna just dump the fees into the existing ordinances?
Oh, do you know, I didn't know whose job it was to do that, to be honest. I mean, if somebody's able to provide me with, well, I suppose electronically we can figure out how to get a copy which is not a PDF. And
I
therefore
already
can
have
be
a
edited.
copy.
Yeah.
I made one because I wanted to work with it and I was like, I can't do it.
Terrific,
So, yeah.
terrific.
So we could just update the names of the current members
And stick in the new
price,
Structure.
yeah.
Yeah,
And bring it to the.
absolutely.
So are there other changes that you want to make?
At some point.
But not now. I mean, the other changes are the rules and procedures for how you behave in the cemetery. We have not at all finished discussing that, and so we don't want to touch that.
I wish Jack were here because to revise an ordinance, I believe that we have to have a couple of public meetings.
We have to have a public
So-
hearing.
We assumed.
Fee structure, I'm not sure. If you were talking about putting the names of the trustees in the ordinance, my recommendation would be not to do that because then it has to be updated annually potentially.
Current one has their signature.
If you don't mind me for just a second, I'm going to go over there and grab my
Yeah,
copy.
The current one is signed just by the Board of Selectmen.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, in signing, I mean, that's different than, I thought you were talking about actually establishing in the ordinance, like, hey, these are current trustees. I wouldn't recommend that. And
I agree with you.
No.
And then a fee structure.
Maybe you just need to have our names to sign on it. I think that's all. you need.
I don't believe we even actually have to sign up. Oh, we submit it? Okay, in the initial thing, well, the first thing is 1987. Then there was an update in 97. The end of that update was indeed signed by the cemetery trustees at the time.
But not a physical
Not
signature,
physical,
just
no.
typewritten names.
Yes,
Just a cover sheet.
Yes.
just a cover sheet, exactly. Then there were changes made in 2018. And then some changes made in twice in 2019. Once for fees and once for flowers. That's a quote.
So who signed that?
That was Scott Worthwick, David McAllister, and Alan Brunansky.
Board of Selectmen.
That was the Board of Selectmen.
It was.
Do you want to keep the fee schedule in the ordinance? I mean, I think that maybe is a conversation for you at your next meeting, but if it's just the fee schedule and it has to be revised, then it seems like it would be easier to put out and have people digest than having to read.
I think we have
Well,
a lot of information we're going through, and if we get a little bit out there, because if May 1st, we adopted to have certain fees, and then somebody looks at an ordinance, and says, like, oh, wait, these are going here, so we're trying to make things consistent, even if it's a slow process, we'd
Yeah.
rather take the time to make it consistent than try to lump sum it into one.
Yeah, I
Well,
was thinking potentially if it says like, current for fees, refer to the current fee structure or something like that. That's-
Well, yes, we certainly, although I think we would still have to have you approve a change to that wording, but that's perfectly reasonable, yes. By the way, the new fee structure did go out to those members of the public, at least to get the newsletter, a couple of times, and I didn't write down all the times, but one of them was April 17th. But I believe there were either.
Posted on the wall.
Yeah, for the town clerk's office.
Thank you. I forgot that. But, yes, we did realize that there would have to be some public hearings in order to make the changes. But thank you. Scott's he's very good at letting us know about that. sort of thing.
All right, well, let's get that buttoned up and then we'll figure that out.
Cool.
All right,
All right, thank you.
great, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Great to have the focus back in the area of the town, so. Looking for quite a while, so. I just had a question, is the tree up at Sawyer Hill Cemetery been cleaned up? I know it's taken down and it's laying there for quite a while.
I don't this since it was
No.
gone.
You know, we'll have to go and find out the answer to that.
Okay, I can go up there as well, I just haven't been up there, so.
No, it was a reasonable question to assume we knew an answer to.
That's all right. Okay, chief. You're up.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, board. Thank you for your time. I just wanted to come and present the highway safety grant for 2027 that Sergeant Lewis prepared and applied for through highway safety. They gave us a really generous award of $15,700. And we're here to officially ask the board to accept the grant award and sign off on the documentation so we can resubmit it back. The grant award allows for officers to work overtime details for DUI enforcement, distracted driving enforcement, speed-related offenses, seatbelt, and cell phone use mobilizations. So basically what that means is anything above and beyond the patrolman's regularly scheduled shifts, they can go out and work 4-hour blocks of patrols and puts us out there a lot more. And we are still waiting on the equipment grant that we applied for. That will cover new radars for our police cruisers, MDTs, and that award we're hoping will be somewhere north of 20,000. We haven't gotten that back yet, so.
Great.
And if you would accept it, there's very specific language that the Attorney General's office is requiring in the meeting minutes, and I can provide that to you if you can put that in there. But the wording is that the select board in a majority vote accepted the terms of the highway safety grant as presented in the amount of $15,700. If that could be verbatim in the minutes.
I'll make that motion, Roger.
Oh, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ryan, how many years has the town received that grant?
For me, since I've been here for 3 out of the 4 years as the chief, we've gotten it. Last year, we did not apply for it because we were so short-staffed that we didn't have the manpower to do it. Thankfully, this year we're back at it. But prior to that, we had gotten it 15 years or so prior to that. We got it every year. Not this amount. This is definitely probably one of the largest amounts I've seen, but Sergeant Lewis did a good job preparing the documents, and so.
Amanda, thank you for putting that all together. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
If I could just get 2 of the board members to sign off on the documents, please. Here, and then somebody sign there. There's one more, I think, Steve, that I'll have you sign if you could. I just need you guys to print and put your positions there.
And he didn't offer me to sign it. They figure I'll be one of the ones you'll be stopping.
Yeah,
That'll be me.
there'll be a conflict.
Nancy, yes?
If you
How
could
many
sign there.
Approximately how many extra shifts will that grant allow?
It's hard to say. So each officer gets paid out at their specific overtime rate. But last year, so each DUI enforcement, for example, they gave us $4,000 to use. That's typically 15 shifts for that mobilization, depending on, how many hours the officer works, could be up to 6 hours, could be 2 hours. So sometimes we break it up into 2-hour blocks where we get more patrol time out there. But the DUI ones, they require that we work a 6-hour block. So anywhere between like 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. and 1 a.m. or we can shift it an hour or two here and there. But altogether, 40 to 50 extra shifts.
Thank you very much.
That's it. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Again, thanks, Amanda.
Have a good night.
You do. Andrew and Hope, you're here for our update on.
We're here for good news, so I'm gonna let Andrew
Right,
give
okay.
you the good news.
Would you like me to stand and address
Sure,
everybody?
whatever you're
Right?
comfortable with. That's
Thank
great.
you. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. My name's Andrew Hatch. I'm the Community Energy Advisor for the Community Power Coalition of New Hampshire. And I met last week with your your aggregation committee just to discuss the status of upcoming rates with regards to Liberty Utilities and the fact that Canaan Community Power is what we would regard as ready to launch at a time opportune for the town. And if I could just give the select board a copy of this memo, which I'll just run through for you. As you all know, Jack Wozmak is not here right now, and this is a very time-sensitive thing. So the alternative is to speak to the select board as the authorizing body about where we stand, because there is an opportunity to launch Canaan Community Power as of the 1st of October. And what that would require is us to move forward with the power procurement as early as this Thursday, the 9th of July. And what I've provided you in this memo is just to explain the dynamics behind this. So if I could just speak to that quickly. Last month, the electricity rates that will be enforced from the beginning of August through the end of January 2027 were announced. So Liberty announced a default rate that would come into force on the 1st of August of 15.835 cents, so just over 15.8 cents a kilowatt hour. And the Community Power Coalition announced its basic rate at 14.729, so 1.1 cents difference, meaning that customers participating in Community Power who are Liberty customers would benefit from a 7.5% reduction in the cost of their supply on their electricity bill, which would, for a regular customer or an average customer, which we call somebody using 650 kilowatt hours a month, it's just a statistic so you can gauge savings in dollars, would save about $7.20 a month. With our research in terms of Canaan's customer base on Liberty, you are also served, as you know, by the co-op, New Hampshire Electric Co-op, but the focus here is on launching for a default electricity for the Liberty customers in Canaan. There's 1,470 of those. And doing a sort of back of the envelope math, that would represent savings through the end of February of 2027 of about $60,000 across the town. So it is a significant savings, and the next opportunity would be to launch Canaan Community Power in next March, and that's why I'm here tonight to offer the opportunity to consider this. So as I said before, the power procurement could happen as early as this Thursday, and there is no action per se required by the town of Canaan because you have already, through your committee, indicated an interest in launching at the base level, which we call Granite Basic, which is the rate I just mentioned earlier. But the services contract that you entered into back in November of last year does require an authorization for us to move forward. And in the absence of the town administrator, there's the opportunity for this draft launch authorization resolution tonight, which would empower us to move forward on your behalf. So if that were to take place and we were moving forward power procurement on Thursday, the next steps are outlined in this launch sequence, which would involve public outreach, notification of what's coming in the Canaan news, perhaps information out of farmers markets and so forth. But then we would also be working to make sure the Canaan Community Power website was ready to go live ahead of what we are required to do by statute, which is to send out notifications to all of these 1,470 customers that would look something similar to this. It's enrollment information. What it would do is explain exactly what's going to happen at least a month ahead of anything happening. So we would be contemplating mailing these out at the beginning of August, and inviting folks to public meetings to answer any questions, explain anything, or give people the opportunity to go look at the website, get in touch with our customer service and educate themselves if they had any questions or concerns. And in the conversation we had last week, we were thinking of maybe the 18th of August being a good date, because that is coinciding with a select board meeting, like we did with the original public hearings, but also to make sure that folks who might not be able to attend of an evening to have a second one maybe on the Saturday afterwards. But this is all very much TBD. It was just the ideas that were floated. But we do have to have a mandatory public hearing within 15 days of the mailers going out, and at least 30 days ahead of this launch. And if folks then choose not to take any action, they would be automatically enrolled in Canaan Community Power if they were Liberty customers, effective of their October meter read date, which varies from customer to customer. And as we've said many times before, this is a voluntary program, meaning that people don't want to participate. They are within their rights to opt out at any time at no cost. And indeed, even if they were enrolled, they could take that step later on. And again, the initial launch will always mean that folks will be enrolled into a program that will save them money. So that in a nutshell is where things are at the moment. And I'm more than happy to answer any questions and get into more detail.
Any questions from the no? Okay. I'm going to make a motion to approve moving forward.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Well, that's great. So if you could enter the draft authorization resolution in your minutes, that would be all we'd need for our record.
Will you give a copy to
I certainly shall.
Roger? Excellent, thanks.
Thank you very much, and congratulations. This has been a long time coming, and there's savings to be had, so I appreciate the opportunity.
Great. Jack's on vacation. Any other business?
That's me.
Go ahead.
Lorraine Hennessy. I wanted to ask what the timeline is for filling the town administrator position. I haven't seen it.
We're in discussions with that right now, right? So, yeah. Maybe.
You've been here for 2 or 3 months now.
Yep.
I have some paper for you. These are the first run of the Old Home Days programs. And this is a letter for next year. It's just the dates of when we plan to do everything. And we have worked out a pretty good solution with the farmers market, which is good. And presuming this all works out, I would assume that that would continue in the future as well. Let's see how that all plays out. This is for you or Jack or whomever, and here's one for you. You need it for any details. Nice. Just wanted to get that out now, and I have a stack, the first stack of bulletins. Can I give those to you for the office?
Yep.
And that's really all I have.
Okay, great.
We are moving forward.
Excellent.
Nice.
Great. Anything else?
Can I jump in?
Sure. How are you, Ted?
Good. So, proposal for raising the salvage yard fees. It was last minute, but.
How many salvage yards do we have?
There's two at least.
Yeah.
And neither one of them are licensed right now,
Okay,
so,
so I think we do have to have a public hearing on this.
yeah.
But the proposal is to increase the salvage license fee from $25 annually to $250 annually. The reason behind it is there's a lot of work to keep them in line. They've been unlicensed now for 2 years.
At least
3
2 years, yeah.
So,
At
least. Again, trying to reel in some shady, or I wouldn't even say that, sort of.
Yeah,
So.
some uncontrolled.
Less
activity.
than perfect
All right, I'll talk to Jack about getting that as a public hearing and maybe the next meeting as well.
Okay,
Thank
thank you.
Anything else for anybody? I'm gonna make a motion to go to non-public briefly. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Thank you, everyone. Ted, can you stay for a minute, please?